Did you know that if you sign up for a free trial of Disney Plus, Disney is actually legally allowed to poison your wife? Now, although that sounds like a fake headline, that's actually a real situation that's currently happening. So on October 5th of last year, Jeffrey Piccolo and his wife, Dr. Kenneth Don Swan, and Jeffrey's mother were enjoying their time at a Disney World Orlando resort. And like most people would do on a, family vacation like this, they decided to go and eat at one of the nice restaurants offered in the Disney World Resort. That restaurant being the Raglan Road Irish Pub in the Disney Springs complex that they had inside the resort. And they chose that restaurant specifically because Jeffrey's wife was deathly allergic to dairy and nuts. Every year, 3.4 million people end up having a reaction so bad that they end up in the emergency room, with most serious food allergies causing anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis causing swelling hives and lower blood pressure, and in serious cases, shock. And again, Jeffrey's family chose this restaurant specifically because they offer an allergy-free menu. Now, according to Raglan Road's website, the guests may consult with a chef or special diet-trained cast member before placing an order. We use reasonable efforts in our sourcing preparation and handling procedures to avoid the introduction of the named allergens into allergy-friendly menu choices. And after seeing that they do accommodate to people with serious food allergies, just like anyone would, they assume that this place would be a safe place to eat for their family. And according to NPR, repeated conversations with their waiter about Tunga-san's allergies, the family allegedly raised the issue up front, inquired about the safety of specific food items, had the server confirm with the chef that they could be made allergen-free, and asked for confirmation several more times after that. But when the waiter returned with some of the food that Jeffrey's wife ordered didn't have the allergy-free flags in them. And when they noticed this, they asked the waiter for, again, confirmation that the food would be allergy-free, which the waiter did confirm that even though it didn't have the flags, the food being served to his wife would be allergy-free. And after dinner, everything seemed fine, so Jeffrey went back to the hotel room to take the leftovers while his wife and his mother went around the complex to continue to shop. But 45 minutes later, Tunga-san began having severe difficulty breathing and collapsed to the floor. She self-administered an EpiPen shot right before being rushed to the hospital. Now, during this, Jeffrey wasn't able to contact his wife, so he began growing worried, but after he found out that she was rushed to the hospital, obviously he made his way over there to make sure that his wife is okay. But after waiting for any updates on his wife, the doctors had to deliver him the unfortunate news that his wife had passed away due to anaphylaxis, again something that is extremely fatal if not treated immediately. So despite doing as much as they literally possibly could to ensure that this place would be a safe place to eat because of Tunga-san's allergies, because of the incompetence of the staff there, despite asking several times if this food would be safe for her to eat, Jeffrey lost his wife. And according to NPR, the medical examiner's investigation determined that Tunga-san's cause of death was a result of anaphylaxis due to the elevated levels of dairy and nut in her system. So, like anyone, Jeffrey is trying to seek legal action to, get justice for his wife's death. And you might be asking, well, is he asking for $1 million? Is he asking for a couple $100,000? No, Jeffrey's just asking for $50,000 to cover the medical bills and, the loss of his wife. But despite the incompetence and carelessness of this restaurant that offers an allergy-free menu, a restaurant that Disney trusts enough to run in its complex, Disney is fighting back against Jeffrey, again, even though he's only asking for the bare minimum to cover the cost of the loss of his wife. But Raglan Road does state at the very bottom of their page, in super easy to read fine print that you'd need a microscope to see, we take steps to prevent cross-contact. We do not have separate allergy-friendly kitchens and are unable to guarantee that a menu item is completely free of allergens. Allergy-friendly offerings are reliant on supplier ingredient labels. We cannot guarantee the accuracy of the contents of each food item. Allergy advisory statements, e.g., quote-unquote, may contain, are not regulated and therefore not taken into consideration when developing allergy-friendly meals. It is ultimately our guests' discretion to make an informed choice based upon their individual dietary needs. And due to this fine print, you'd probably think that that's the reason that Disney's fighting back against Jeffrey. But it's actually way more disgusting, and I honestly can't believe more people aren't upset about this, because this can literally affect anybody. The reason that Disney is refusing to pay a measly $50,000 sum, a small amount to a company that made $88 billion in 2023, is because of a clause in the terms and conditions that Jeffrey apparently signed when he signed up for a free trial of Disney Plus 4 years earlier in 2019. And those terms and conditions state, any dispute between you and us, except for small claims, is subject to a class action waiver and must be resolved by individual binding arbitration. Disney even said that Piccolo ignores that he previously created a Disney account and agreed to arbitrate all disputes against the Walt Disney Company or its affiliates, arising in contract, tort, warranty, statute, regulation, or other legal or equitable basis. And Disney's lawyers are even arguing that the language is broad enough to cover Piccolo's situation. So by doing the right thing and giving Disney money and not pirating their content, and even, giving them money to enter the park, Disney is claiming that they had every single right to poison his wife and there's nothing he can do about it. Now, myself, I pirate almost every single form of content I consume unless it's from a small creator, because I refuse to give these giant conglomerates that make $88 billion any more money to not give to the people that actually make the content that they produce. And by doing this, apparently I've kept my right to be able to sue Disney if they end up poisoning my wife. Now, I don't support pirating content from small creators, because at that point you're just screwing an individual over rather than a giant billion-dollar company. But like in Louis Rossman's case, when you pay a streaming service for 4K streaming and they don't actually give it to you because the hardware you're using is not supported by their streaming software, even though they never said that when you sign up for it.
Here, I was talking about the time that I paid extra to get Netflix in 4K. And there are people saying, Lois, you're an idiot. You should have looked at the requirements. Why did you think that you could use that on your computer without using the specific web browser and the specific operating system and the specific processor and the HDCP cable and the HDCP monitor that you're supposed to... Shut the f*** up, you fucking corporate bootlicking simp. Here, I literally paid extra for 4K. It says pay extra, get 4K. It does not say anywhere there. Only if you connect to this on a smart TV that fucking spies on you, or if you reinstall your operating system, get a different monitor, get a different cable, get a different graphics card, get a different processor, and use a shitty ass web browser.
Or like when Ubisoft decides to take down games that are completely playable offline, or even DLC for games that you're just no longer allowed to play anymore because, you know, sucks to suck, I guess. And when Nintendo decides to, you know, stop supporting older games and even older platforms, giving you almost zero way to play those older games, and when Disney is saying they have the right to poison your wife. So what's the point in doing the right thing by giving these companies money if you're not even getting the product that you're paying them for, or if they literally are just allowed to kill you? What makes this story so much more personal to me is my wife also has a serious nut allergy, meaning that this literally could have been her. And the fact that Disney has the audacity to even try and argue that they had the right to poison his wife, I don't know how he's showing up to court and looking at these lawyers in the face. Because I'd honestly crash the fuck out if I heard some dude in a suit tell me, well, actually, because you clicked accept terms and conditions, your wife, you know, that's her fault. That's on her. I would lose my shit so fast you have no idea. And what's even worse is people literally defend these companies doing this, saying, well, did you read the fine print? You didn't read the fine print. It was in there. When they literally don't care if you live or die. Why are you defending these companies? Anyways, I just wanted to talk about this because, you know, it's been bothering me a lot. And the fact that Disney still won't budge and probably won't because they have the money to just fight this forever in court. Jeffrey and his wife will probably never get the justice that they deserve. But anyway, just cancel your Disney Plus subscription and don't watch any of their new shit. Unless, again, you're pirating it, then by all means, go ahead. Enjoy your content, you know, free of charge, because, you know, you shouldn't be supporting companies like this.